YouTube, welcome back to WTFRC Cars. So, this is one that I've been a bit intrigued about for quite some time, and I thought I'd try it because I've been asked more than once how you do it and how to set this up. So basically, the Noble Pro has the ability to bind to two receivers at the same time on one channel. Now, I can think of situations where this might be needed if you need a crazy amount of extra channels. So we've got the FGR12B and an FGR4B. So if all goes to plan with this, we should end up with 16 assignable channels. So let's crack on with video and see how well this goes. Right, so here we go. We've got the FGR4B that we're going to use as our master. We've got the FGR12B we're going to use as the slave. We're going to be powering this off the BEC. So this is going to be running as motor and what would be as steering servo, if you like. So we've got ESC into channel 2, steering into channel 1, and then this one we can not bother about for the time being. So first thing you're going to want to do is go into your model memories, choose a model, set the channel number definition to 18. Then we're going to have to come out of that and go into our bind menu. Now it'll probably come on like this. So you want to select 2RX mode, and then we've got master that you want to start from steering, and then your slave you want to start, well, depending on how you want it set up. I take it you don't want it copying everything that the other one's doing. So we know we've got 4 channels on the master, so I'm going to start the slave from channel 5. Basically that'll mean you can assign channels, auxiliary channels 5 and upwards on the FGR12B, and you can assign all 12 channels. So the slave we're going to want to start from channel 5. First we're going to want to power up and hold the bind button on the FGR4B, sorry, and then we're going to want to bind it as master. Then we're going to want to go back into RX menu, and we're going to want to press and hold as bind button on our FGR12B, and then bind it as slave.
Signal lost. Binding successful.
And then let's have a look. So I believe if we come out and go into sensors, so we should get 2 lots of DVB. Yep. So you can see you're getting the DVB from receiver 1 and receiver 2. So if you've got the sensors plugged in, you can monitor 2 separate batteries. It's quite cool. You can also use the telemetry off them as well. So you can program one of your channels not to be a channel and be iBus connector. So next thing we're going to want to do, we've got our steering and we've got our throttle, so they're working. So if we want to select, say, channel 4, so we're going to go in, we're going to select channel 4, and then we're going to tell it something that we want it to be assigned to. So if we then back out and we plug a servo into channel 4 instead, so we've got channels 1 to 4 assignable. So then on our FGR12B we're going to start from channel 5. So if we go to channel 5, we go to assign. I'll assign that to the button on opposite side. So if I've got this right, we should be able to plug into channel 1 So channel 1 is now channel 5. So that's his first assignable channel. And then we should be able to go all the way up to channel 16 now. So if we go to channel 16 and we assign that one of the 3 position things on back, take that off channel 3. So we want channel 16 assigned to one of his variable 3 positions. So then we should be able to unplug his servo and go for our top channel. And there you go. So we now have 16 channels assignable over 2 different receivers, both powered off of the Noble Pro. You can turn them off, turn it back on, it'll just bind back up to both. You can overlap channels if you want to have a channel copied. So if you started them both at steering, you wouldn't get extra channels, but you would get 2 lots of steering output that follow each other exact, 2 lots of throttle, 2 lots of channel 3, 2 lots of channel 4, and then the channels above that would be individually assignable on the FGR 12B. But I kind of think you probably, because you've got channel mixing and the ability to do that anyway, you're better off having 1 to 4 on the FGR 4B and then 5 and upwards as fully assignable channels to get the most available assignable channels. There's nothing stopping you putting a FGR 8B and 12B together. You've got a maximum of 18 assignable channels. So whatever combination of receivers you want to use in this order, you're quite happy to. You can use whatever you like to get the extra channels, or set it up in any way you like. You can even have so many extra channels and so many overlapping if you run with 2 FGR 12Bs. Because you've got a total of 18 assignable and you can basically choose whatever you like. But let's wrap this one up. So, maybe confusing, yeah, I know, but incredibly useful, especially if you've got something with a hell of a lot of channels, like one of the big truck models, or a tank that you want to have every single thing assignable and programmable, or a crazy rigged out scale crawler with a winch on front and back, all individual lighting kits. Doing it this way, you can pretty much control whatever you like with a crazy amount of channels, and you don't have to have one 18 channel receiver. So sometimes it could be beneficial in your rig to have the receiver powered off the ESC, and then as we've got here, you might want a separate battery pack powering your winch or lights, so it's not running off your main LiPo. Other advantages to it, these receivers can run up to 9 volt, so you may have a setup that's running off 6 volt, like a Traxxas setup with all Traxxas stock Traxxas servos and BEC and everything, and then you may want higher powered winch servos running off a dedicated battery pack, so you might want to do it that way. There's a whole number of different reasons why this would be extremely useful, but I also find it just very interesting that it can do it. A little bit complicated, but not once you've got your head around it. But that's enough of my incessant ramblings. So, if you like this kind of video or find it useful or entertaining, don't forget to like and subscribe, share to friends and family, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you guys again in the next one.